Hello from Educational Center TOPjargan. I'm your host, Miram. I'm a graduate of the University of Edinburgh, which is in the top 10 in terms of education in the world. And I have IELTS certificate 8.0 with more than 10 years of international experience. Let's start our lecture. Lecture number 9, we are talking about writing skills, especially details on how to prepare for essay number 2, which is like the most important, the biggest essay on writing task. So when we talk about essay number 2, if you missed the previous lecture number 8, and you need to know the details on essay number 2, you can go to the previous lecture and watch it before watching this lecture. So if we talk about, let's move on and let's talk about the 4 criteria we have. So it's very important to understand how we are being assessed in order to get high score, because we just need to do simple thing. We need to fit into the requirements of the exam. It's very simple. We have like 4 criteria. They weight the same actually percentage, like 25 percent each section, each criteria. So the first was like task response. It means that we are asked a question and we need to answer that question. That's very simple, right? But some people make some mistakes. We'll be talking about this kind of cases in the future. Second criteria is the coherence and cohesion. It means how well is our writing actually, how well we connect words, phrases, sentences, and paragraphs. How fluently our train of thoughts go actually from one sentence to another and to another. So that's very important. Actually, only practice can help you. So we advise you to practice a lot, and even in your native language, how well you explain the logical chain when you talk about argument A and the final argument B. Next is just vocabulary and grammar. When we talk about vocabulary, we have again common vocabulary and specific vocabulary. So what's like quick advice here might be is actually try to use collocations. You are not maybe required, it's not a good idea to learn anything like by heart, some specific templates. They might help you to get 6.0 and maximum 7.0, but if you're targeting more, it's just more about how naturally you fit into your sentences some specific collocations. Collocation is like connecting of 2 or more words. For example, decreased significantly. Yeah, that's the collocation we use. Then grammar. Some people misunderstand this criterion and they try to make their sentences complex and put as many grammatical structures as they can. It's not always the best approach. So grammatical section means that you use accurate, so use the accurate grammatical structures and without any mistakes, okay? If you can put your thoughts in quite simple grammatical structures, that's totally fine unless you don't make any mistakes. So these are the main criteria we have. Just keep them in mind, what they mean, and try to just meet all these requirements. Let's talk about the main approach, which is called frame approach. So we talked about it last class. Today, let's talk about this approach in details. So it means when you start writing essay number 2. So you spend a couple of minutes on thinking your ideas, right? Then thinking about your arguments, and you already have clear picture of your thoughts. Then you start writing. So we advise if you write a full introduction, like paraphrasing the topic, stating your opinion, and providing some arguments. Then you go to the body of the section, so body of the essay. You have 2 paragraphs in the body. In the first paragraph, you write on the first key statement, first key sentence, where you present your idea, you present your first point. Then you move to the second paragraph of the body, and you write also like the first key sentence where you present your second idea, right? Then you move to conclusion, and then you fully complete your conclusion because you already have your arguments in paragraph paragraph 1 and paragraph 2. So you present your opinion. If it's required, then you say your arguments very quickly, and that's the frame. You have a locked system. You have full introduction, it's beginning, and you close your essay. And then you have like idea 1, idea 2. Why it's important? Firstly, because it helps you, this frame approach helps you to control the number of words, yeah? You have, this is like finished introduction, finished conclusion, and like paragraph 1, paragraph 2. It will be about 150, 170 words, believe me. Then you have remaining like about 100 words just to fill these 2 paragraphs in. And it will help you balance the number of words. Second, they help you to keep your thoughts in a very straight way, because when you write in a chronological way from the beginning, introduction, then fully writing first paragraph, fully writing second paragraph, there's a risk and chance that your thoughts might be like fluctuating, going away from your question. But frame approach helps you to keep your thoughts because you already have your thoughts in your essay, okay? After that, after finishing conclusion, you go back to first paragraph and add a couple of sentences just to develop your argument. And then you move on to the second paragraph and you also develop. If you see that you don't have like enough number of words, you just develop further, add some details or examples in your first and second paragraphs. Okay, that's the frame approach. So we hope it will help you, and we advise you like to practice in real life. Now let's have a look at the real example and see how it looks like. Here we have a task. Always read carefully the task. You have 40 minutes, you have a topic, give reasons for your answer, include the relevant examples from your own knowledge, okay? Relevant examples, and give reasons. So some people believe that unpaid community service should be a compulsory part of high school programs, for example, working for a charity, improving the neighborhood, or teaching sports to younger children. And that's the topic and question. To what extent do you agree or disagree? So we have agree, disagree type of question, and it's like, to what extent? We have to say the degree, yeah? I'm fully agree or fully disagree, and so on. So let's have a look at the example. This is official example which is provided by Cambridge textbooks. They say it's been marked for band 8.0, which is quite high, I would say. That's a really good essay, but personally, I don't kind of like it because it's not my style of writing, but that's really like a good essay just to have an example. And this essay actually shows that there is no like magic pill. There is no one template how to write a perfect essay. You can write it in many ways unless you follow all the criteria, okay? So let's quickly go over. This is the introduction. So we have paraphrasing. In my opinion, we have the answer, because they tell you if you agree, disagree. They give their opinion if they agree, disagree, and they give the arguments why they agree, yeah? So lots of valuable skills. That's very important. Once you give your opinion, you have to give arguments very, very shortly in introduction. And you give idea to your reader that you will be talking about this arguments. And then when you move to paragraph 1 and paragraph 2, here you have actually 3 paragraphs. In paragraph 3, you develop your argument 1, argument 2, and argument 3. And then you have conclusion, you just conclude. Here, that's okay, conclusion, but that's not my style, because that's just a recommendation, but I prefer actually finalizing everything you have said here, here, and here, yeah? Very briefly, using synonyms by paraphrasing, but not adding anything new. So, and I would like also to highlight the task response criteria, because that's very important. As you know, we have several types of questions on essay 2, and you have to answer this particular question. Pay attention if you are asked to give your opinion or you are not asked. If you're asked, you have to give your opinion. If you're not asked, you don't give your opinion, okay? Then when you write about agree, disagree, to what extent? If you take one extreme position, if you fully agree, I advise just at least mention that you are aware of opposite position as well. Just briefly tell that even if you agree, there's like opposite like opinion point of view which tells like this or this situation, okay? And also when we have double questions or problems and solutions, it's quite similar in terms of the structure types of essay. Just answer two questions in a row in a balanced way, okay? Or you have problems and solutions. If you have plural form, you have to provide at least two problems, or here at least two advantages and disadvantages. Okay, that's it for today. I hope it was useful. Stay tuned and see you next lecture, and goodbye.